What is going on, everybody? For those who don't know, I go by Philly Mike, host of the Philly Talk podcast. But today, you know what time it is. We got the Battle Birds podcast. 2 of the 3 members of BBP. The other one will be here shortly. But to my one and only BBP member on the screen, what's going on with you?
What's good, Mike? What's up, everybody? Steve Hyder, Gate City Sports Channel. Look, man, this is going to be a really interesting game because if you look at the division right now, Mike, I'm not going to lie to you. Look, man, I'm not going to sit here and try to think that we're going to all of a sudden wake up and be a different team. But if we just find a way to win today, it's still within grasp. This is the crazy thing about this season is that everything is still within grasp. Like, we can still actually capture this division just because nobody's really running away with it.
Correct. Especially with us watching. I don't know what the score is now because I actually got the Miami Dolphins game on next to me, but the Giants were getting beat up. The Washington football team, who knows what they'll do. But like I said, every time an NFC East team loses, you just feel like it's right there. You could grab it, but then we come out and lose. You know what I mean? So it starts with us. And like you said, again, Doug Peterson throughout the whole week said, it's not one person why this offense is not succeeding, but the only thing that was really done was single out one person. So if it's true, and what I see too, I think we're a lot of things away from being a good team. Who knows? Will Jalen Hurts inspire the guys? You got the young guys really on Jalen Hurts' side, it looks like. You got the veterans back in Wentz, but at the end of the day, I think the veterans, everybody backs the shield. So they're going to come out and ball. I just think it's a little bit too late to try to get a spark. I mean, we were struggling after the bye week. Look, I'm going to watch the game. I'm going to root. I just wouldn't put my money on it. But, man, like I said, as we're so close to the East champs, we're so close to a top 5 pick too. And I keep saying the top 5 pick because it could possibly be a reality, man. We're so close. Like 3-8-1. By week 14, I wouldn't have guessed this. I mean, injuries happened last year. We somehow found a way to win 9 games. We're not even as good as the last year's team, which we weren't playing up to par. So I think Jalen Hurts, again, I like the kid. I feel bad because he's coming in against a defense that's hungry, that's playing for their injured quarterback. So it's going to be tough.
What's going on, everybody? I see Jersey Boy 2020 Vision, Bobby OMG. Be More Philly, of course, up in here. Jinx Wolf, Justin SM Gaming. What's going on, everybody? I'm sorry if I skipped y'all. I'm just seeing what's in front of me. Mike, it's crazy, dude. Like, let me just Cardboard Carolina, my older brother. What's up? Because he's gonna come at me if I skip him. But it's crazy because like I almost feel like if Doug can just get out of his head, do the right thing, and set this kid up to be in the best position to be successful. Okay. He's a rookie quarterback going against a very good defense. I'm not saying this is going to be easy. And like you said, I certainly wouldn't bet my money here. But dude, if you just hang around and give yourself an opportunity to sneak one, control the clock, because you don't want to put this ball in New Orleans' hands too many times, or else I got a feeling they're going to run away with it and it's going to get ugly. But if you can control the clock, kind of just hang around there, and then take your shot when it comes there, like, dude, I mean, you get by this game, and none of the other games that are remaining on the schedule are anywhere near as difficult as this one's going to be. Like, the Cardinals are a good team. I'm not trying to crap on the Cardinals, but they're not the New Orleans Saints. They're not the Green Bay Packers. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Dallas, come on, man. Maybe I'm not the biggest Jalen Hurts guy because I still think this kid has a long way to go in terms of development, but I do believe Jalen Hurts could beat the Cowboys right now. I'm not going to lie. Could we beat Washington? I don't know. I think we got a fighting chance. I mean, their defense is great, but I mean, their offense is just as inept as ours. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy because I still feel like if you find a way to sneak one, you can mess around and actually make the playoffs. Now, the question being is for the long-term health of the organization, is that the right move? I don't know, Mike. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know that that's the right move to make right now, but I just can't, as a fan, man, I can't go out there and root for losses. I can't do it, man. Even if my head's telling me, like, Steve, what are you doing? You know that we should be playing for draft positioning right now. I can't do it as a fan, man. I can't do it.
Yeah. Throughout the week, I can simply say the stuff that needed to be said. Like, we're a bad team, we stink, we're going to lose. But every day that gets closer to Sunday, I'm like, well, what if? Well, what if? Well, what if? And again, you know what I mean? I'm a gambler. Shout out to Nitro Freak. Yeah, he's a gambler as well. He's coming straight out saying 31-3 Saints. It could get that ugly. Taysom Hill still has to show me a little bit more. He had 2 easy games against the Falcons defense. We'll see. But as Taysom Hill got to show the Saints, Jalen Hurts got to show us. And like I said, it's going to bring a more bigger dynamic to this offseason. Because if Jalen Hurts performs, again, we have people who doubt him. We have people who want him to succeed, just don't think he's going to be able to get it done against this defense. But let's be honest, if he comes out and balls out, I mean, that's going to create the fact that has the struggles been on number 11?
Yeah. Oh, like it's crazy to me. Hey, 2020, I hear you, man, that they're number 1 against the run. We have to throw. You're not going to take a rookie quarterback who's even at Oklahoma, which was honestly the most improved you've seen Jalen Hurts as a quarterback. He only threw the ball like more than 35 times, like twice, man. So, I mean, I think that would be a recipe for disaster. I think you let the kid do what he's good at doing, which is play off of RPO. Let him play off of RPO. I mean, look, do I think that they should hold him to 20 throws in this game? No, dude, that's suicide. Like, I agree. You're not going to beat the Saints like that. I mean, but if you can keep him under 35 passes and you can use his athleticism and feature Miles Sanders around him, look, I'm not going to say we're going to win the game, but maybe you get stupid lucky. Maybe you get really stupid lucky here. I still got feelings about the defense holding up, though. I'm not going to lie.
To go off this comment, I was just looking on Twitter because before we went live, I saw it and I wanted to pull it up to make sure I wasn't just seeing things. But no John Hightower. He is a healthy scratch. I guess they got him labeled as the 7th receiver on the roster. Healthy scratch. They are bringing in JJ and Quez to be active for this game. What is your take on that? Do you think you'll see a Quez sighting today?
I'm a little mad. I'm actually a little angry about that because the film showed that no matter what they think about Hightower, and I think you remember, Mike, I called Hightower's hands out as being questionable when I broke down film on him.
True.
I said that way before he ever put on the Eagles uniform, his hands were a little questionable. But this kid wins. He wins in his routes. And I kept finding example after example on the film where this kid was getting open for both Hurts and for Wentz, and they just were not getting around to the reads on him. And I don't like the move personally. Like, why are we deactivating Hightower for JJ? Like, come on. Like, I want Quez in there. Don't get me wrong. I honestly would love to see Quez Watkins in there and getting an opportunity, but I'm not in favor. Like, come on, man. Isn't the JJ experiment over with by now, guys? Like, come on. Like, I pulled for the guy in training camp. I thought he looked a little different. He still wasn't separating, but like physically he was fighting for the ball in the air. He looked like you could trust him a little more. And then we got into the games and he just, his route running, the lack of his ability to run proper route stems got to him. Like, it seems like he's been struggling. I mean, look, maybe this dude's been putting in hours over the last 3 or 4 weeks while he hasn't really been on the field that much. Possible. But I don't know, man. I don't like the move personally. Where are you at with it, man?
I just don't understand it. I think we've seen enough JJ, like not even just on the field, his off the field decisions, who knows what really happened that day he talked to Howie and left. We still don't know. You know what I mean? It could have came out and said family business. I think he's just not into the game. Physically, he can't play the game, and mentally. And to see John Hightower drop a couple balls, but also, like you said, separate, have that down the field threat, catch a comeback route and make something happen with it. We've seen more from John Hightower in this limited sample size than we saw from JJ when we had Nelson Aguilar, Deshaun Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey all injured. And JJ, he pretty much got outplayed by both Rob Davis and Deontay Burnett. So, like, we've seen quarterbacks convert to receiver, come in and beat him. We've seen every pass catcher on the Philadelphia Eagles provide something that JJ hasn't. And somehow Howie's left-hand man or right-hand man just keeps climbing in there because it has to be Howie saying, Doug, get him in. Doug,
yeah, the Rob Davis thing still hurts my feelings a little bit because I was pretty high on Rob Davis as a prospect. He's not somebody like I'm not gonna be angry that he doesn't make the active 53 because we drafted 3 guys we knew it was going to be an uphill climb for Rob Davis to make the active roster, but due to the injury he suffered in training camp, it knocked him out of even being consideration for the practice squad. And I thought Rob Davis is a guy that athletically has a lot of skill set, man. He's a 6'3" guy, 215. He's got speed. The kid's very athletic. The kid can get up and get the ball. He had some, he's got some subtleties he needed to work on when it came to route running. But he was way further along than a guy like JJ was. It just feels like sometimes there's missed opportunities. Sometimes it's just really bad counting on the part of the Eagles. And it does make you wonder a little bit, man, with some of the personnel decisions that get made, the power struggle that's happening right now, man, you can draft guys, but if they don't fit the scheme, that's a problem. That's always the problem when you're scouting somebody. I can scout somebody and tell you if they can run a route really well, right? I can tell you how they separate. I can tell you all those things. But telling you whether or not they're going to fit the scheme, you know what I'm saying? You have to trust your coaches a little bit on that to tell you if they're a scheme fit or not. And it just feels like that's a big disconnect, and it's killed us. It has really killed us over the past 3 years in particular. Because we've had a lot of guys that, it's not that they lacked talent, because we see them playing well in other destinations, but they probably weren't the greatest scheme fit here in Philadelphia.
Facts. And again, so, Nelson Aguilar, we've said it, again, yes, he had to go just because it was in his head, legit in his head. Philly wasn't nice to him. He, once you start deleting your socials, something is wrong. You're overboard. So he had to go. But I knew that somebody can get a decent version of Nelson out of him because he has speed. He was great when he did hold on to the ball. He was nice after the catch, elusive. He just had to get his confidence up, and Philly is not a spot that you get your confidence up once it gets knocked down. To bring me back to the biggest person whose confidence is going to have to eventually get back up, or we're going to have problems for the next couple of years trying to figure out what we're going to do. Carson Wentz, you know what I mean? The one spot that once you get knocked down, it's not easy to get back up because the fan base, because of our media. Everybody got media out there, but you know how they just blast Philly when something's going wrong. So Nelson wasn't able to ever come back from that. Do you think Carson can come back for that?
It's $1 million question, Mike. Matter of fact, it's $100 million question, to be quite honest. Look, you can't say with confidence either way, can you? Honestly, you can't say with confidence either way because it has destroyed other quarterbacks. I think 2020 vision, I never got back to answering you, man. I'm sorry, I kind of got busy with the week. But he was pointing out what the hits did to Carson Palmer late in his career. We all know the story what happened to Derek Carr. Those hits take a toll on you. Now, I think Wentz is still young. He's at the right age of having a combination of experience and still being young enough for his body to physically recover from that. But it's really the mental aspects of the game that you have to worry about when you take that kind of hits, when you're getting hit that much. We could already see that mentally it was playing off on Wentz. We saw that he started, look, the analysts were calling it out. He started ducking his eyes. He took his eyes down off downfield. That's a good indication of a guy that's starting to worry about pressure a little too much.
Hey, Gabe, real quick. I bet you when Carson Wentz knew that Tony Romo was calling this game, he was like, dang, he's going to be calling me out.
Yeah, pretty much. You're probably right. And like I said, mechanically, the things that are going on with Wentz are completely fixable. I'm not concerned about bad footwork. I'm sorry, guys. It happens to every quarterback at some point in their career, and the crap gets ironed out and gets fixed with good enough coaching. That's not a concern to me. Wentz is never going to be, in my opinion, a guy that's going to consistently be throwing 66% or higher completion rates. He did it in 2018, but that was an anomaly. I think he's more of a 63, 64% completion guy. That's what he's going to be when you have everything kind of functioning and flowing well. And to be honest with you, sometimes a guy throwing 69% completion rate isn't always what you want because maybe that dude's not throwing the ball away when he should be. You know what I'm saying? There's things like that factor in those completion percentages. But Also, you know, the amount of times that a person's throwing the ball in a game, like that stuff can skew those percentages. The more you throw the ball, the less likely it is you're going to have like above a 65% completion percentage.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the mental things, man, right? Pulling your eyes down, not sensing, not feeling pressure because you're so used to pressure. I guess he just assumes there's pressure on every freaking play because it just feels like the norm, right? So you're not sensing where the pressure's coming from. So
Correct.
so what ends up happening to quarterbacks is that teams get really smart and they're no longer just trying to beat just their man. This Saints defense is going to be a problem with this, guys. They're very good at this. They start playing high-low pass rush. So one rusher goes high, the other rusher goes low. And if you got a quarterback struggling to keep his eyes downfield and not sensing pressure, it makes it harder to know whether to step up, roll left, or roll right. And it's things like that that you can do to a guy that's even experienced. Like Wentz he's not a rookie out there, but you start having those mental glitches, man, and it breaks you down. It does. To be real with you, Mike, like I said, I probably would have split reps in this game just because I don't think this is a very fair ask. Like, man, if Jalen Hurts is even competent in this game, you got to give this kid credit. This is a hard defense. With that said, I do think it was time to shut Wentz down for the year, man. I know some people said let him go down on the shield, and I understand the argument, but I think you could have done it. I think Doug could have handled it differently. You know what I'm saying? He could have been upfront and honest with Wentz right from the start. And then I think you could have put him into your office and explained to him, like, hey, man, like, look, this isn't personal. This isn't, we think that you're the main culprit of what's going on here. We think there's a lot of, you know, underlying situations that are compounding, but your play is helping exacerbate the situation. So we just feel like, man, it's time to hit reset on 2020, man. Let's just shut this crap down and like, let's look to 2021 and figure it out. I think you had to, man, because like, how long before you start doing those things? Like, you know what they talk about, right? Like, you know, when you form a habit, how many hours it takes to form a habit, right? 10,000 hours, all that stuff. Like, well, how long does it take to reverse that habit then? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's the things you have to start becoming concerned about.
Correct. Shout out to Nina. She said with Malcolm Jenkins coming back in the building, does Jalen Mills have something to prove? Trying to fill his shoes, which obviously he hasn't done very well this season so far. What's your take on that?
On Malcolm Jenkins returning?
Yeah.
I mean, look, it is what it is. He feels a certain way about Howie Roseman. So does Louis Riddick. A lot of people. Listen, I've been really critical of Doug, and there are times situationally. I want to make a very clear point, guys. Situational play calling has irritated me with Doug. But Doug still scheme things. He does scheme crap open. I see guys come open on film. They do get open. A lot of times it's the line not holding up long enough. And we can criticize Doug for saying, like, yeah, Steve, but at the same time, bro, like, you got to be, you know, realistic to how long your line can hold and start having in-breaking route. And I get all that, guys. I do. But I'm just saying there are routes where you can see it on film that if line held, if the quarterbacks got off the first or second progression sooner, they would have found these guys open. So, you know, a lot of it, Mike, I do feel like Howie should be underneath the same pressure that Doug's under, the same pressure that Wentz is under. I really do feel that way. I feel that we can make nuanced arguments, right, and say that he has drafted guys that when they left Philadelphia, they were successful.
Correct.
But it's a nuanced argument, right? But it's still nuanced. But did you draft the right guy for the system and the scheme?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you know you can argue it's like, well, the guys I'm drafting are good. It's the guys who are managing them. But again, you draft knowing how Doug wants to run the offense. You know, and again, when they signed Rich and they signed Marty Morningway, that wasn't Doug. That was all Howie. That was Howie putting guys in position to again minimize Doug. I just think there's so much tension between Doug and Howie. And the whole team is feeling the effects. Shout out to Be More Philly. He said that Mac Hollins is catching contested catches over there in Miami. They just scored. My goodness. But look, you watched the game.
Mac did that here, though, too. But that's the thing is Mac did that here on occasions. Like, it's the consistency out of Mac Hollins. Like, that's always been his thing. Like, physically, this kid he's big, he's fast. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you see that the physical traits to him, but like, I mean, the dude was like in Philadelphia, man. And look, this could have been an aspect of coaching, but like these dudes couldn't even run switch routes last year, Mike. Like, and I know that the receivers have been a problem this year at separating early in routes. I get it, But at the same time, man, like I'm not down on Aaron Moorhead. I'm not, guys. I actually like Aaron Moorhead a lot. And you can say, Gay, how can you say that? Well, he's dealing with 3 rookie receivers and 3 veterans that are never in the game, it feels like. And one dude that who knows, like one dude that it's just out and who knows whatever land in JJ. Like to me, as I look at things, Mike, and tell me where you stand with this kind of stuff, but I think that when I looked at the individual drills that he was running in camp, when I see what he was like, he looks like a guy that knows what he's doing to me. Like, this is a position I've coached as well. And this guy looks like someone that knows exactly how to develop and train kids. Like, subtle things I disagree with him on. And I don't, and it could be Doug's system. That's the problem. Like, I don't like the way that he has guys release off the line of scrimmage against press coverage. I think that's a bit of a problem. Like, he's almost like telling them to duck a shoulder and run through them. That's just a really bad way to fight off the line of scrimmage on press. But this dude's like 1,000 times better than what we had last year. I'm going to be straightforward. Like, I don't see dudes out there struggling to run switch routes. Like, I don't see dudes out there like completely just looking lost in the route combinations and the route trees. Like,
we also don't see JJ out there.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I definitely think there's some subtleties to things out here. Like, I do think that they got to be better off the release of the line of scrimmage, but you know, Doug's got to do a better job of scheming these guys open. He's got to do some things to help them get releases off the line free. And there should be, I'm not saying we never have in-breaking routes. I think that that's a really bad myth that gets spread. We do have them, but there's not enough of them.
So Boo said, Mike, I disagree because the Eagles scouting wanted Justin Jefferson, but Howie didn't listen. Again, you know, that's the power Howie has. He has the final say. You know what I mean? When it comes to personnel, it's Howie or nothing. Again, once Howie regained power back from Chip Kelly prior to Doug Peterson coming in here, you know, I thought it was Doug does the field and Howie does personnel, but I'm starting to think Howie does a little bit more than that. He also has the involvement on the coaching staff and all that. And I honestly think Jeff Lurie doesn't really make too many decisions. He just puts in Howie we trust. And that's what Jeff Lurie does. Real close friends. I mean, the fact that they say that they share the same religion, you know, a lot of that stuff. That's why it's going to be hard to get Howie out, because the only person that can get Howie out is Jeff Lurie. And if Jeff Lurie's listening to him, like, you know, we got to do this, it's just going to be difficult. You know, Jeff Lurie could have in the back of his head, we won a Super Bowl under this guy, blah, blah, blah. But you can clearly see the deficiencies on this team. And it's not just last year. It's been it's been since the Super Bowl. And again, how many guys did we trade for to help us win that Super Bowl? You know, the LeGarrette Blunts, the Jay Ajayis, Alshon Jeffrey got traded there, Torrey Smith. So it's not like homegrown Philly guys. Carson Wentz was a homegrown Philly guy. Nick Foles, you could say, because we drafted him. But Alshon Jeffrey, LeGarrette Blount, Jay Ajayi, a bunch of trades put us over the top that year. And again, we thought that they had a little bit more gas left in the tank, but we paid the guys, we paid the wrong guys, and they were a little bit past their limit. That's why our window closed quicker than some others. You know, it was a one and done. Now again, we're at the spot now with the cap, and the cap is this way because of what we try to do after the Super Bowl to keep that window open. We failed as an organization. So now it's a time where it's like, bro, you got an expensive quarterback, so you need to have skill players that are cheap. They got to be good, but they got to be cheap. If we have a DK or a Justin Jefferson, I'm not saying Rager's not that. I'm just saying if we have that production from these young guys, you get to pay these guys in 4 years, and by then you're out of the cap situation. Carson Wentz's deal is not that big. You're at the tail end of his deal, and you're paying these Justin Jeffersons, DK Metcalfs, maybe an offensive lineman, maybe a defensive star like a Jeremy Chin. You're paying these guys now. You know what I mean? So we done messed up, but all we can do now is just get out from under it. And you've been on record saying how he's going. You think how he's going to be going?
I think this is where it gets tough, Mike. So I think there's nuance to it. I think it's very possible he could be fired. I do think that is a possibility. But I also think that how he's endeared himself to this front office, including the ownership. This is a kid that's been here since 2000. It's also likely they just strip him of power. they say, look, man, you can't be the sole person making personnel decisions because, quite frankly, here recently you've missed. You've missed quite a bit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I do think that there's subtleties to it, if that makes sense. But I mean, I do think it's also possible that Jeffrey has some guys in his office and they're like, look, Laurie, listen, Mr. Laurie, you got to listen up, bro. We're trying to help you. Like, this guy is not doing his job well. We understand that he went for it, and we're not faulting him for going for it. But when you go for it and you miss, and you're not even close, it doesn't look good. Like, right? It doesn't look good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you put yourself in a cap situation. You really missed on a lot of draft picks. And that's, to be honest, I know that you feel we should have taken Justin Jefferson. And like, I think if anyone knew, like, and I made 2 videos on Justin Jefferson to defend him against the Philly fan base, saying like, guys, I think you're misreading this. Like, I'm a Jalen Reagor guy, but I think Justin Jefferson has one of the greatest head fakes I've ever watched on film. Some people got to look at themselves too, man, because they might have turned Howie Roseman off of making that pick, fearing the fan base's reaction to it.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be real,
it was all
not popular. Some of these guys are now acting like they were on that bandwagon when they weren't, to be quite honest. He was not a popular pick amongst the fan base for that day. A lot of people did not want Justin Jefferson. Now, there were some few. I interacted with some people in the comment sections that were definitely big on Justin Jefferson. I definitely thought the kid would be good. And I think I even, when we were talking, Mike, I told you, I said, I felt like Justin Jefferson would probably have more catches than Reagor just because I think the Minnesota system and the, basically where he's going to be plugged into play with there being a lack of people around him. Like, he's going to have an opportunity there. But I didn't expect the kid to be a 1,000-yard receiver from day one. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and that's what just makes it hurt worse. Real quick to address this for everybody asking where Philly Fresh is. He was on his way. The last time I talked to him, which was 27 minutes ago, he said he was heading to the studio to get on here. So he did give me the go ahead to put it on his channel. And so he could jump in at any second now. Hopefully we get the general in here. But let's shift it back to the Saints a little bit more because that's who we got in less than an hour. If there's one way you can, if there's one way you would want to Doug Peterson to attack this offense, this defense, the Saints defense with Jalen Hurts, how would you go about it?
I would do a lot of RPOs. I would try to feature Miles Sanders and Hurts. I would try to feature those two guys together. I would definitely try to work the middle of the field with these tight ends. I've been kind of calling for a little more 11-man, but I'm going to be honest with you, with Hurts in there, it may help a young guy to have tight ends that he can throw the ball to. So I might, in this game in particular, I might be a little more, I might be a little more convinced to play a little more 12-man than even myself I would traditionally call. Now, mind you guys, I'm not Doug. I'm not a guy that believes in running 60, 70% of your plays as a 12-man. But even I would probably play 30, 40% of my snaps as a 12-man in this game, given the circumstances. Personnel selection has to be better, Mike. I like Ertz. I defended Ertz. Vehemently against Be More Philly, to be honest. But to be honest with you, I like Ertz. Ertz still has talent, and, it's going to suck because I don't think he's an Eagle anymore. But Richard Rodgers needs to be in this lineup, man. Richard Rodgers has showed that he's a competent tight end. We got to stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to stop doing this where you kill a guy's momentum. I mean, I don't know how. I don't know how else you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how else you can get this through to the coaches, the coaching staff's heads. Make the first read win. You need to do things to help. We need to do things to help Jalen Hurts' first read win. You help his first read win, he's going to look good. Okay. That means scheming things for these receivers to get open. All right. When we need this kid, you can't move the pocket every single snap, guys. It's not what we're saying. But what we are saying is that we need to do things to help this kid get outside to give these receivers time to separate downfield and get him the ability to get off his first read to a second read or off his second read to his third read, because he's a young quarterback. Young quarterbacks struggle to go through 3 read progressions. Like, they're normally 1 to 2 read progression guys. It takes a lot of time to really build that up. So you're going to have to do a lot of things to help him out with that. But look, I think the kid senses pressure pretty well. I mean, that's the one thing I will give him. There was a couple times I felt he stepped up in the pocket when he really probably shouldn't have. But to be honest with you, I mean, I'm a big Wentz guy, but the dude sensed pressure that I didn't see Wentz sensing. And I think it has a lot to do with how many hits Wentz has taken on the year. I think he just kind of quit sensing pressure. And I think that's a major problem. But I think, let the kid kind of play his game a little bit, work around the RPOs, make sure Miles Sanders is a featured part of this offense. And I know Miles has been dropping balls, but you got to keep going to him, man. Miles is a special type of player with the ball in his hands. Like, get that man the football. I want to see Miles Sanders getting an opportunity. Just pretend you got Alvin Kamara, but his name is Miles Sanders.
That's what I said.
What I would do.
Hey, real quick before we let Fresh get it going, because he's just getting in here. I do think Jalen can make some plays, but again, I think it's going to be hard. Listen, the last 5 quarterbacks that played against the Saints defense struggled, whether it's Matt Ryan, Tom Brady, a little bit older guys, but still guys who were getting it done this season struggled. They're tough. They stop the run, the pass, they get at the passer. But real quick, too, I think Devon, you're right, though. I said we traded for LeGarrette Blount. I meant that these were all either off-season signings or trades that we did. Again, it wasn't homegrown guys who contributed other than like a couple. But again, we didn't draft these guys like they're the guys. It was the LeGarrette Blount, Ajay Ajayi's, the Alshon Jeffries, Torrey Smith. These were guys we acquired. So my bad on that. But go ahead, Fresh.
Mike, hang on, Mike, 1 second, because I want to get your guys' take on this. It's a good question. So Donovan Stone asked the question at 3:48, and I think this is a good one. I think this is definitely a good one to raise.
All right. Why did it go back so far?
Well, why he do that?
No. 3:48. It's where he's talking to. Yeah, you got it. There it is. So he says, "Oh, I got a question. Also, how do you feel about Doug using a game plan for Jalen that he should have used for Carson?"
That's scary, but
I'm gonna go ahead and let Reese take that one right from the jump.
He's been preaching this in his videos. Go ahead.
I can go now. Y'all ready?
Go ahead, sir.
Yo, that man. You know what it is. You know what it is. Your boy Philly Fresh, aka a Four for the Better Word podcast. Listen, I've been having a heck of a weekend, y'all. Like, lost my phone. Well, I ain't lose it. It's stuck at work and I can't get it till Monday. So a whole lot going on. I couldn't find my laptop. I couldn't call anybody to find out where it was. Been searching for it for the last half an hour, but I'm here now. So enough for that. Enough for the excuses. You know what I mean? I'm here. Let's see. The question. Donovan Stone. I got a question also. How do y'all feel about Doug using a game plan for Jalen that he should have used for Carson? Shout out to these two guys and also Philly 500 and LB. We just did a live a couple days ago, and the same question was asked, and I got the same answer. I don't know how I'm gonna feel. I'm gonna have mixed feelings because it's like, damn, I want this team to do good, which means the quarterback has to do good, which means Doug Peterson has to do good. But damn, I'm gonna say, damn, why you couldn't do that for Carson? Why is it things getting changed? And we see it already getting changed. We see that they told Jason Peters that you're probably gonna sit on a pond. So he said, you know what, I'm gonna go have surgery so it doesn't look that bad when it's time for me to go get a gold jacket. You know what I mean? I don't know if they're going to be benching Alshon. I know that he's active, and I've seen a couple actives that I don't get it. A head scratcher to me, but that's neither here nor there. So I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna feel. I know I'm gonna have mixed feelings. I'm gonna be cheering, but I'm gonna be saying, damn, really? Go ahead, y'all.
No, real quick, Fresh. What is your take on John Hightower being the healthy scratch and Quez Walken getting assigned, but JJ Arcega-Whiteside back in the lineup? What is your take on that, real quick? Because we talked about that.
Once again, I don't know. I don't like I don't get it. It's not that I don't know. Maybe you want to see what Jalen Hurts has on different kind of levels of wide receiver. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe this is pushing that Alshon won't play, so they want another big guy. I don't know, man, but it should be no reason why John Hightower, who has more yards in one season than this man has since he's been here. Really, he has more yards in 2 games than J.J. Arcega-Whiteside has ever. And why is he on the field? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand. The only touchdown that he has this year, I understand Hightower doesn't have a touchdown either, but he contributed. The only touchdown that he has is from a fumble. Now that was good hustle, and I ain't gonna knock it. But at the same time, when it comes to the wide receiver position, you don't produce on special teams. So here's the difference between Matt Hollins and him, who we grinded Matt Hollins up, who's over there in Miami balling right now. But
I'm watching.
That's neither here nor there. But once again, hey, salute to you, Vic. But listen, but once again, I don't understand it. Is this the front office saying that I want my second round pick out there? Like, I don't know. I don't understand it. What I can say is I'm finally happy to see Quez Watkins be able to get some burn again. Maybe they use him and utilize his speed. You know what I mean? Maybe they use him for punt returns. I don't know. But I think that we're going to see a different game plan. I think that we're going to see more running of the football. And I think that the offensive line is still shaky, but just that one link that's been cracked and rusted and could just break the whole chain is not here anymore. And I think that we're going to see a huge difference with just one guy, being gone. Go ahead, Charles.
So there's a couple things I wanted to bring up, Mike, on that topic. One of them that Reese brought up, but I want to bring up to the original question. If I was Sean Payton, what would I think about the Eagles activating JJ? I think it's quite clear. He's a run blocker. They plan on implementing the running game. I mean, that's the only reason I could go through logically to why you would take this active step for JJ. And I'm just going to be honest. I mean, that's what it would signal to me. Now, there's something that Reese brought up I want to touch on, which is about Quez Watkins. Here's my theory. You know how ineffective, you know how we've been really ineffective this year on running the mesh concept? The mesh concept is those two underneath drag routes. Mm-hmm. You got that hook route coming in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that thing works if you got Rager running one of those and you got Quez Watkins running the other on that drag route. These two are two guys. If you get the ball in their hands and the defense misses a tackle, they're going to hurt you bad.
Yeah.
Like, we can get into why are we just now getting around to putting guys in the right position. But I do like that. I mean, I think that if they played smart, and look, they may not even use Quez. We're talking about
and that's what I got a feeling of too. Are they going to use him on special teams? And even if you do use him on special teams, will he be able to have an impact like that? Mm-hmm. Like I just want when you set out your 53, I just think everybody should have an impact on the game, no matter if it's small, no matter if it's blocking, no matter if it's special teams, whatever the case may be. A Jinx Wolf. I'm gonna answer your question. He said fully fresh. Do you think if we had Justin Jefferson, DK Metcalf, CeeDee Lamb, do you think we'll be in the same position? Please reply. I don't think that we would have all three of them. I think we had DK Metcalf. We definitely not even looking or in a position to get Justin Jefferson. CeeDee Lamb, I had no problem with not getting CeeDee Lamb. But if you got them three receivers, like come on, man, like if you got them three right there and they all young, like we looking at a future Hall of Fame offense. Like if you got them three, you know what I mean? But that's not how things work. Now, if you got just one of them, I think that probably the offense looks different. I don't know if we're in the same position with just Justin Jefferson because I don't know. Like a lot of people are down on Rhaegar. I'm not down on Rhaegar. I just think he's not being used properly. And who knows if Justin Jefferson is over here that he doesn't being used properly. Now, DK Metcalf, that's a different animal. There's no way that you can't use. Like he does so many different things. He's such a big TO-ish type of guy. You know what I mean? That no matter what, he's going to be able to call his own number if the ball is thrown to him. You know what I mean? BLGS, thank you for the super Yoda, man. My guy, appreciate you. But how y'all guys feel about that, Mike? I don't know if you can find it. It's at 355. Y'all want to know what the question is?
Which one?
Jinx Wolf, the one I just answered.
Oh yeah. My take on it is that, just give us DK, like you said. I think, again, I got to see someone come in here and just be able to shine too, because I'm starting to second guess the coaches. But again, as Gates said, I do like Aaron Moorhead. I think he's better than, what we had last year and all that. So you give us DK and I'm on your side. Even if we do get Jefferson, no way we can get Jefferson and CD. They were right in the same draft, both went in the first round. But give us DK and Jefferson. You know,
Steve, what you say about Moorhead? What you said about Moorhead? I missed that. Obviously, I missed
I said that. Look, I know there's some subtleties going on with the way that these receivers release off the line of scrimmage, but I said, to be honest with you, I don't feel that Aaron Moorhead. I feel like some fans, I'm not going to say everybody, because I think there are some people who are a little more level-headed about this, but some fans think that this guy can't coach. And I'm like, look, man, I watched this guy in training camp. I saw the drills he set up. I saw the way he was coaching these guys. I disagree. I think this guy is a really good coach. I think he is a massive upgrade of what we had last year with Carson Walsh. That was just horrendous coaching from that guy. We had guys out there failing to run switch routes last year. Like, we don't see that this year. These guys are getting open. He's got 3 rookies, right? And then he's got 2 second-year guys. And he's got 2 to 3. He's got 1 veteran that opted out of the season and 2 veterans that can't get on the field. Like,
I mean,
they did a great job given the circumstances. Like,
yeah.
Hey, real quick. So to get to the so what time did y'all wanted to get off here? Like 4:15ish, 4:10ish, 4:15.
I think the game's at 4. We might want to get off at like 4 or 5 because the game's at like 4:25. We always be scrambling, bro.
Yeah, I know we do.
It's up to y'all, man. You know, I'm late, so I'll take that hit. Hey, real fast. The to just to add on for what you was just saying. You know what's crazy is that the year that our wide receivers was doing the best is when Mike Groh was the wide receiver coach. Mm-hmm. I think that they should have never leveled him up. Yep. You should have just kept him there. You know, I think that's his position, and he might go to another team and find himself in that same position. You know what I mean?
I think he's with the Colts doing that.
You said what?
I think he's with the Colts doing that.
Oh, is he? Yeah. Hey, and them
Yeah.
wide receivers look better than ours right now.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, make sure we got 201 people in the chat. We are live on 3 channels: the Philly Talk Podcast, Gate City Sports Channel, and Philly Fresh, the General. Make sure wherever you're watching it, do us a favor and smash that like button. It's free, it's easy, it's simple. We appreciate you guys 100%. So let's get into some of these. Again, every time we started talking about the Saints, it got us one question or something, got us back to how this organization has just failed all of us, including Carson, all of us as fans this year. We just kept going back there. But to get to more Saints and Eagles talk, it's going to be hard. But give me your offensive player, defensive player, and score prediction if we could win this game.
Okay. You want me to go first, guys?
Either or.
All right, if you give me first selection, I'm taking Miles Sanders for offense. But, defense, ooh, that's a rough one, man. Maybe I'm crazy here, but I think the Saints offensive line is good. I don't think it's dominant or great. So I'm gonna say that. Hey, let's chant all pro. Hey, Brandon Graham. Give me Brandon Graham on defense.
I'm gonna go with on offense. I'm gonna have to go with Zach Ertz. It's a shot in the dark, but I just feel as though with us being able to have our 2 tight ends and him being that safety blanket, I think our quarterback, Jalen Hurts. I think our quarterback, he's going to need that. He's going to need that guy that's there. You know what I mean? Hopefully he can turn it around and start getting open again. Excuse me. So when you look at it on defense, I'm gonna have to go with big play, man. You got some explaining to do, Lucy. Like you really gotta level up, man. You gotta level up. And I understand the scheme doesn't fit you. I understand you're used to playing a ball and not playing a football player. A lot of people don't understand how hard it is to just change, especially with how old he is and how long he's been playing in that kind of system, that kind of player. It's the reason they call him Big Play Slay, because he played the football. And Jim Schwartz doesn't put him in that position. He tells them to play the player. So go ahead, let them make the catch, but just try to either knock it out their hand or just tackle them. And that's not how he plays. But Well, Michael Thomas coming up. Michael Thomas being coming off an injury, whatever the case may be, really hasn't been the same guy. Still burnt. Still gave the Falcons all the smoke that they wanted. You know what I mean? I think he had like 102 yards or something, like nine receptions. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're right. 105 on 9 catches. Yeah, best game of
the season. Yeah, Mike. I saw your video, so I stole that from you. No, but in all seriousness, man, when you really look at it, he got to step up. He has. If we have any shot of winning, he has to. Hey, it ain't his fault. Hey, Charles, it ain't his fault. It ain't his fault, man. So, yeah, I got Darius Slay. Score prediction, 16-17 Eagles.
Defensive game.
Yeah, 16-17 Eagles, man.
I didn't even give a score prediction, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I thought you did. My bad.
Nah, you're good, bro. I was trying to get it. And then I realized, like, now they're gonna call me out.
I just think we're gonna eke it out. We're gonna eke it out, man. We gotta grind this one out. So
let me ask you a question, Fresh, before Mike goes, and I'll give my opinion on this too. I know these are hard stat lines to predict, but if you had to give a prediction for Jalen Hurts, what do you think his stat lines will be?
You know, it's crazy. That's actually my giveaway. You know what I mean? I did the passing and rushing like combined. So I don't really, because people get a chance to hurry up and go type. So I don't really want to get at to you, but this is what I can say. I think that he will have over 150 receiving, and I think that he'll have over 100 if he plays the whole game. I think he'll have over 150 passing and over 100 rushing if he stays in the game.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
he's that kind of talent. I mean, he's that kind of talent.
I think he'll be over 20 attempts, but under 35.
Okay.
I'm gonna say something like 18 of 31 at like really bad, but 20 at 31 if doing really well. And I know that's only 2 passes, but that is drastically different. I don't think he's going to exceed 250 yards, but I think he's going to be right around 250 yards. The question will be touchdown to interception ratio. I'm going to be optimistic here and say 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. And I know that's being optimistic. But I mean, wouldn't you guys be satisfied? Even if it was the worst end of it, 18 to 31, 250, 2 touchdowns and an interception, you guys wouldn't feel like that wouldn't be like a really freaking good stat line for this kid against his defense?
Yeah.
Right.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. If he doubles what he did the first half against the Packers on so what he had 109. He ain't really had too many. What he had like 30 rushing yards.
Yeah,
how many rushing?
I don't know the rushing. I just know.
I think he had like 30 rushing yards and one pick, one touchdown. If he doubles all of that, I ain't got no problem. You know what I mean? If he only has 210, in the air, 60 rushing and 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, I ain't got no problem with it. I understand.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna give him. Like I had that same thing. I just have passing only, and I have him going around the 225, 230 mark. That's what I had him going around. Some of my people were like, let me get that nice 300 piece in there. I'm like, whoa. Yeah. Not saying it's not him, but like if we are going against Seattle again, Dallas, Falcons, all right, but again, the Saints defense is number 1 for a reason. So if we get us 220, 2 touchdowns, a pick, and like Fresh said, 65, 75 rushing yards, I think we're good.
Yeah. But isn't it the nightmare scenario that he plays decent through the 4 games, but not great, not bad? And now you got to carry in this contract conversation into like that's the nightmare scenario to me. Yeah. Like if someone plays bad, they play bad, it's probably coaching. If someone plays really good, it's probably the quarterback play. But if someone plays across the board, you got a big problem in the offseason to figure out because guaranteed money goes past 2021 and starts hitting 2022. Philly 500 is not here to get him all riled up about that, but
oh yeah, that was great. Hey, shout out to Fresh for actually being able to download that thing and replay that. That was good. I re-listened back into it. That was the actual time I actually re-listened to it. I didn't do the whole thing, but I kept coming in and out. But it was cool. I liked it. It was fun.
Yeah. I know a lot of people didn't get to see it. You know what I mean? Being as though it was on like shout out to LB, but we got different people. You know what I mean? He got it. So I just want to give it a chance to let our people see it. You know what I mean? So hey man, I had to put it on there, man. They showed out in that joint too. Some people was like, oh, I could have swore I seen this a couple days ago. I'm like, I had to tell them, listen, man, it's a repeat. It's a repeat. It ain't going on right now.
Yeah.
Fact.
Hey, Vic and Avery. I'm not saying that mine's a realistic one. I'm just trying to be optimistic.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with my guys. I'm gonna go offensive player of the game. I'm going to give it to Jalen Reagor. He was talking about him loving catching balls from Hurts. He may be picking sides. Pause. Yeah. Like I said before, Fresh got on here, the younger guys seem to be excited with this change. The veterans are sticking up for him. We're going to see how it gets done. I got Jalen Reagor, balling out today. We'll see. Again, this is against the Saints. He's going to draw Marshawn Lattimore, maybe. Hopefully, Marshawn Lattimore goes against somebody not named Jalen Reagor.
Ho, a 2020 vision. No, you better not. That's really my wife. That's really my wife, bro. That's really my wife. She had no. Somebody said who was Philly Fresh wife. It sounds disrespectful. But no, that's really my wife. You bounce her if you want.
Yeah, say because last time there was a different name, but the same picture, right?
Yeah. She changed it. She changed it.
There you go. But hey, the way there's trolls out there, you never know when somebody else.
Yeah, I know. No, this is really my wife. Shout out to my wife. Hey, baby.
There you go. So I got Jalen Reagor on offense, and on defense, you went with Brandon Graham. You went with Big Play Slay. I'm gonna go with what's her name? She said it earlier. Dang, I'm
slipping. What's her name?
No.
I'm about to say our defense that bad. You about to go with a girl, man?
No. Dang, she's on all three of our pages. It's slipping my mind. She's on Twitter too. She comments all the time. Anyways, she asked, how is Jalen Mills going to respond to him taking Malcolm Jenkins' job or taking that job and Malcolm Jenkins coming back in there? So I'm going to go Jalen Mills. Maybe he gets a pick.
Nina, maybe? You talking about Nina?
Nina. Yes. She asked that question. And so I'm going to go with Jalen Mills as my defensive player. He steps up and gets a pick on Taysom Hill. For score prediction, real talk though. Look, I'm going to do it as if we somehow win. This will be the score: 24-23 Eagles. But again, I got Jalen Hurts. Listen, if the Eagles win, somebody's getting a Jalen Hurts jersey, so it's going to cost me $150 for the Eagles to win. At this point, I'll pay $150 for the Eagles to win. But you can see my confidence level. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Okay.
I didn't say score, so I'll say it now. I don't think we're beating them in a low-scoring game. I just don't. I mean, I don't know. Is it Taysom Hill or is it Drew Brees today?
It's Hill.
It's Taysom. Oh, okay. All right. Confidence went up a little bit. Yeah. I'm going to say.
Gate done checked out. You don't even know what we're going against.
Yeah, bro. I'm going to say 20. All right. I'll be optimistic, man. Like I said, I wouldn't bet this, guys, but I'm going to say 21-17 Eagles.
Okay. Hey, listen, man, a dub is a dub. So I don't know if y'all talked about it real fast. I know we about to get out of here, but did y'all talk about the fact of do we want to win or do we want to keep losing or whatever the case may be?
We did.
Okay. Well, I just look back and relook at it, man, because y'all already know how I feel. I'm a winner. I breed winners. Shout out to my kids. As you can see, my wife is there. I breed winners. I don't never tell my kids to lose at anything. So, man, I don't never want to be a loser. You know what I mean? But if it happens and you lose, but you give it your all, I don't consider yourself a loser. You just lost. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I don't want to be a loser. There's a difference. Go ahead, Joe.
And we second that. Like I said, we know that probably getting the right pick is best for the organization. And Monday, Tuesday, I'm like, we're probably going to lose and it's best. But as the game gets closer, you're like, maybe this, maybe that. Let's go Eagles. I can't turn the game on Sunday and root against us. So it is what it is. Shout out to everybody in the chat.
Hey Gates, real fast, because I've been busy as heck all this week. I ain't even get to look at the all 22. Did you ever really get to look at how different the offense is when Taysom Hill plays and when Drew Brees plays?
No, not really. I mean, they do a little like Taysom Hill's not operating from Drew Brees' offense, obviously. But yeah, but I didn't get to see like what route combinations. Like I didn't, I was so dug in on trying to break down Jalen's play and trying to break down Carson's play. I never got a chance to really look into it. Stephen PS4. Sorry. Look, man, I hear you, but Teddy Bridgewater looked good too. So I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're saying there's 6-0 since Hill.
Oh yeah. Man, he ain't even played 6 games. Ain't been that long.
I didn't think so either. But I mean, I get his point. I get his point that they're playing well. They haven't really lost any game. Whatever. Like the same thing could be said about Teddy Bridgewater. But let's be real. If you're heading into the playoffs, you'd much rather have Drew Brees than Teddy Bridgewater last year. I mean, let's be real.
And then Drew Brees get to rest his arm and all that kind of stuff. So like usually his arm is
burnt
a little bit shot at the playoffs. You know what I mean? Probably him sitting out and then coming back when it's time for playoffs. Maybe it helps. I don't know. You know what I mean? But the last couple of years, Drew Brees' arm has been shot in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Hey, yeah. So
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I read that wrong when you first typed that in there, man. I thought you said he's gonna poop off in the third quarter. I'm like, what does that mean? I noticed it says pops. It says pops off.
Hey, all I know is that hopefully we see some fight. You got the 3-0 Taysom Hills taking on the 0-0 Jalen Hurts for now. You know what I mean? Quarterback versus quarterback, even though it's never that. It's quarterback versus defense. But we're gonna see, you know what I mean? They never said they try to say Taysom Hill couldn't do it. He's doing it pretty decent. Last week, I think he was 232, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and a decent 100-something passer rating. So all I want to see is the Eagles win. Even though I have to give a Jalen Hurts jersey if that's the case. We got 295 people in here. Shout out to you guys. We will be doing a post game. Come through. Hopefully we're talking about some good stuff. Go ahead and y'all want to sign off real quick?
Yeah, God. I just, can we please, for the love of God, have a post game with a win? Like, dude, this year has been torture. Let's just say 9, because I'm not counting that tie. We've had 9 opportunities to come on, or we've had 9 separate occasions we had to come on here. And come on, man, we only had 3 of the good ones. Can we get a 4th one? Just
yeah, but what you remember, even the last one, that we had, we still was like,
yeah,
we did.
We wasn't happy about that last win.
Yeah, we did say it was suspect.
Yeah, so
only 2 times we were actually excited.
Yeah. No. I think we was excited the Baltimore and also the Pittsburgh game.
Oh, yeah.
I think we liked how that ended. Even though we lost, it was like, yeah, I seen some fight. I seen some dog in our quarterback. But we was mad about the play calling, of course. But
That's sad. So sad. But go ahead if you guys want to sign off, say your stuff, and then we gonna get up out of here. It's 4:17. Time to get the game on.
All right, let's get it.
See you later.
Hey.
Yo, that stay Philly, stay fresh, man. See y'all post game. You already know, man. Be there, beware. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we got 304. It stinks when a bunch of people jump in and we're signing off, but do us a favor, smash that like button to give some good juju to the Eagles, Jalen Hurts, and the whole offense. The defense has been all right. The offense has been struggling. Smash that like button. We're live on 3 different channels. If you haven't done it, it's simple, it's easy, it's free, and it helps the channels grow. Appreciate you guys. We will be back in 3 hours. Hopefully it's on a good note. You know what time it is.